Hi yogis, welcome to this 10-minute stretch for the hips. We're going to take a little bit of time to really get into all of the muscles around the pelvis so that you're feeling nice and free after the class. So let's get started in child's pose. So open the knees to the sides of the mat, keep the big toes together and come down into an easy child's pose. The arms out to the front and just allow the forehead to rest down. Just take a few breaths here to settle, to arrive, to center your focus on the hips, on the pelvis, and just feel whatever there is to feel there right now. Notice any tension that you might be holding. Notice any differences between the left and the right sides. Just take a few deep breaths here, allowing the knees to fall out to the side, allowing the chest to melt down towards the mat. And then with your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width, the fingers spread, come forward into a tabletop. Lift the chest, tilt the pelvis, bring the knees back to hip width, tuck your toes, keep the pelvis tilted, and slowly push the hips backwards and upwards into a downward facing dog. Just take a moment here, bend the knees, push the sitting bones up towards the ceiling, and then use the next inhale to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Keeping the hip closed at first, lift the left side of the hip up, and then open the right side without collapsing into the left. Bend the right knee and press your right big toe against an imaginary wall on your left side, so you're really opening up the hip. Both hands press into the mat, the gaze is lifted just a touch. And now start to draw circles with your right knee. No need to go too fast here, just take your time. Make those circles as big as you can possibly make them. Okay, and now open the hip again, and then slowly bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Set the foot down there and turn the toes out around 40 degrees. Set the left knee down and come onto your fingertips, open the chest. Inhale, lift, allow the pelvis to drop. Exhale, slowly press the hips back. Your right leg comes towards straight. Inhale, come forward, hips down, chest up. And exhale, push the hips back. One more time, inhale forward, hips down, chest up. And exhale back. So inhale, come forward, stay here now. Press the toes of the right foot down into the mat, especially the big toe, and make sure that your toes and your knees are pointing in the same direction. Bring the left hand out to the edge of the mat and turn the fingertips away from you. Use the next inhale to lift the right arm up and over the head, opening into a small twist. So you're rolling the right shoulder back, pushing yourself away from the ground with the left hand and pulling the belly long. So you feel an opening in the left hip flexor. Going to increase that stretch a little now by bending the right arm, bring the hand to the back of your head and pull the elbow really close to the face. Your nose is on a level with your sternum, so we're not looking up or down, but straight ahead. Start to press the head back into the hand and open the chest a little bit more. Feel how the stretch in the left hip flexor intensifies. Pressing yourself away from the mat with the left hand, you have the option here to press the top of the left foot down and lift the left knee up, straightening the left leg as far as you can and maintaining that strength in your foundation. A few more deep breaths here. Good. And then slowly set the knee down if you've lifted. Set the right hand down. Come onto your fingertips. Set the left toes onto the mat. Lift the left knee. And now take a big step forward to the outside of your left hand. so that both feet are opened up to the sides, the toes pointing outwards. And then slowly sink the hips down for your malasana, yogi squat. So if you don't bring the heels to the mat, that's fine. You keep them where they are. But important is to press the knees inwards towards the elbows press outwards. So we're activating the inner thighs as we're opening. Lift the chest. If you do have the heels on the ground, press the heels down so that you're not sinking into the pelvis, but rather keeping or supporting your own weight. 2 more breaths. Good. Hands down to the mat. Place them shoulder width apart. Lift the hips and take 2 steps back into your downward facing dog. Take your dog for a little walk. Feel the sensations that are coming up in both sides of the hips. And then use your next inhale to lift the left leg all the way up. Lift the right hip first and then open the left hip. Bend the knee, pull the heel in towards the butt and press your big toe against this imaginary wall. Press the right hand down into the mat to open up the right side body. And maintain this when you start to circle the knee. Again, it's not about doing as many circles as possible, but about moving the hip, moving the leg as consciously as you can. Feel the points in the movement that maybe aren't so smooth. Good. And then open the hip up again. Take a big step to the front of the mat, outside of the left hand. Okay, you can set the right knee down here. Turn the toes out, come onto your fingertips, lift the chest, allow the pelvis to sink down. And then on your next exhale, push the hips back, straighten the left leg. Inhale, come forward, hips down, chest up. And exhale, push the hips back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. So now come forward, stay here. Turn the toes outwards. Press all of the toes of your left foot down into the mat, especially the big toe. The right foot is on the mat. You're pressing the top of the foot downwards. The right hand to the outer edge. And take the left arm up and over the head, open up to the left for a twist. So create length in the spine here by opening the front body towards the front of the mat. Press yourself away from the ground with the right hand and then bring your nose in line with your sternum. Bend the left arm, bring the hand to the back of the head and pull the arm in towards the face. Start to press the head back into the hand to increase the stretch in the right hip flexor. The option here is there to press the top of the right foot down and straighten the right leg, lifting the right knee. Deep breaths. And slowly release the left hand down to the front. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and again, take a big step forward to the outside of your right hand for malasana. Allow the hips to sink down, hands together in front of the heart, press the elbows out, the knees press inwards, and you use that to lift the chest. One more breath. Good. Hands down to the mat, lift the hips, take 2 big steps back into your downward facing dog. Take the dog for a little walk. And then slowly sink the knees down to the mat, open the knees to the sides, and press the hips back, just as we started. Roll up to sit, nice and slow. And then bring the hands together in front of the chest. I hope you enjoyed that and feel a little bit more spacious in the hips now. Thanks for joining. Namaste.